What's up, guys? Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz back again with another set review. Today we have Mushoku Tensei, also known as Jobless Reincarnation. I am joined today by Andy.
What's up, guys?
And we got three guests this time. We got Kit King, the Kit King, and Niko from Burn 1.
What's up, guys?
Yep.
And we also have Ollie joining us again.
Hey, I'm basically in Burn 1, right?
Yeah, sure.
Kind of. Yeah.
I'll defer that to Kit.
Yeah.
Kit, do you want to
I
say
feel like
something?
the odd one out here. This is welcome back to Burn 1 Weiss Schwarz.
I feel like I've done enough content with everyone.
Before we get into the TD, I think Andy is our only Sweet Summer Child this time. I think everybody else has played it a little bit. Ollie, have you? I don't know if you've played it.
I've played the standby list a bunch, and I haven't messed with the choice pants list as much yet.
Andy's played into a couple builds when I was.
Yeah,
playing.
I wouldn't call me a sweet summer child. This is all you people have been playing for the past fucking
Whoa,
2
whoa.
weeks, nonstop.
I guess that's
Can't
true.
say-
Calm down.
You can't say that, dude.
Yeah, you can't
Alright.
say that.
This is YouTube.
All yins have been playing this deck nonstop.
Wait, what did he call everybody again?
Yins? Is that what he
Yins.
said?
No, I
I
mean,
don't know what that
right?
means.
no, I mean before that.
Oh, he just hit us with the you people.
Oh, the you people. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. Okay, I guess we can get started. Look,
Okay.
man, this is edited content. Sometimes you gotta go back. Sometimes people go off too hard. So, all right. Sometimes they really hate the cards. All right, Andy, you can start us off.
Okay, we got I don't know who this is,
Zenith.
but this is a bond to Is this an Apple bond? It is an Apple bond.
It is
Discard
not
from
an
hand,
Apple
Apple bond.
No, it's just a ditch one.
It's a ditch bond. Apple bond is
Yes.
K1.
Oh yeah, as
It gives the power cross turn, I think. But Bond's the 2 cards. Did we just lose audio?
I don't think anyone's saying anything.
I think a lot of people have kind of already made their
I was
assessment
like,
on the card.
this is a pretty scuffed start already. It's just like everybody went dead silent. I was like, did we just lose audio here? Is everybody this speechless?
No, it's just a bad card.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Train
pretty,
was coming by. I had to mute
pretty
myself.
bad.
But no. You guys forgot the plus because at first I was like, this is an F, but it bonks a 2 card, so it gets a plus.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's also
okay.
the mom's also hella cute.
Xena
So
is
I
pretty
agree.
cute,
Yep.
but ditch bonds are pretty whatever.
It was at least a pay 1 plus, but then you'd pay 1 plus of 2 cards. That'd be too good. They had to nerf it.
Yeah, really.
Andy, you got a rating? Ruminating, thinking. Oh
my
no,
back.
we lost him. Okay, there we go. He's
All right,
here.
my internet just shat out on me.
It's a good start.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, where are we at now?
Should we
The
just
first
start
card.
this over? Oh,
Literally the first card.
You didn't rate it. It's a double ditch bond.
Double ditch bond.
No. It's not double ditch bond because you can only ditch to one target. Because there are cards where you can ditch or bond to multiple targets, and this is not one of them.
Yeah, this is pretty lame.
So like you can hand filter twice with certain bonds, right? And this is
Yeah.
only allows you to do it one or the other. You can't do both on the same turn if you're gonna do this.
No, we'll jump on the F train. Oh wait, are both of those cards the same name?
No, different names. Beginning of New Life and Sword Training.
Or Sword Training Paul. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Still sucks.
All right, next card. I got this Rudy sitting on a log. On attack, you can ditch a card, bounce one of your. This is the common trait, 6-sided world. Just gonna say common trait because that's too many syllables. Bounce one of your other common trait characters back to your hand, and then it's a stock bomb.
That's okay.
Yeah, if you have like on play abilities you want to recycle, this effect can be pretty good. I know Kit likes this effect. In
He
the
likes
right
it
set.
in Data Life specifically. I don't think you would want this here. Because
It-
you don't have like a lot of immediately like powerful come into play cards or cards you want to like immediately recycle that you
Yeah.
don't have access to like in other zones.
It's a really cute effect, but unless you have something that pairs with it very well, it's just like a whatever card.
Yeah, because I know the
So, like-
Data Live one you could like bounce your coterie back like recycle
Well,
it.
yeah, but you do that in that deck specifically though, because you don't have access to your waiting room too easily, and your Katoris are probably going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're playing that the bar deck with the Rougeards and all that stuff, this is a nice way to be able to discard a bar that just ends up in your hand
Yeah.
during the combat step.
And like the Rougers always die, so you do want to recycle them. That'd be pretty cute, actually. Like pop your Rougeards back because they always get killed. That'd be pretty neat. All right, we can move on. Next, Kit.
Oh, we got Paul. When your character's trigger check reveals a climax card, choose one of your characters, and that character gets 2 power for the turn. And it's pay 1, rest, brainstorm, draw 1 for every climax.
A lot of power.
Is
Yeah,
this-
I
this
mean,
is Sunshine
it's pretty
Power, isn't it?
whatever. What?
Isn't this Sunshine Power?
Yes.
The yellow
Ruby
Hanamaru
has
thing?
to reveal a yellow climax, right? Or
No,
No,
it
it's
only
revealed
salvages
climax.
yellow characters.
Yeah. It's like it's a brainstormer, so it's technically playable, but it's like pretty garbage.
I'll give it the
You
plus
play
for the
this
power.
because you play this because you don't own a brainstorm.
Yep.
All right, next card.
All right, we have Zenith. All your other traded characters get 500 power, and then you can rest this to level swap. Even
So,
when you describe the
hold
play
on.
that we talked, no, Carmen, I'll cover this. So
Okay.
so you're level 1 in this deck. In a lot of the decks, anyway, it's going to be yellow, and then you're also going to have either like blue or green that you want to also play down. Usually blue, because you're going to want to play down the event. So if you get hit to 1-0, your hand might get mixed with like a couple cards are going to be like the blue event or blue cards you want to play down, and a couple cards might be yellow. So this can be cute to where you can play down like your blue cards. You can get your Searches in your deck with the event we're going to talk about later, and then you can swap to yellow and do your climax combo. But I don't know if that actually warrants a deck slot.
Okay, let me make the case. I
Okay.
swear to God, every goddamn game I get sent to 0-6, and every single time it feels so bad that I think you have to play a single copy of this card, because the deck does have like very few fail cases, but the fail cases you do hit are like just absolutely like disgustingly crippling. That like they can be so bad because all of your search happens on your level 1 turn, like all of your tutor. There's no Ricky. You very rarely are actually playing the drop search because the Roxy event is so strong. And then if you play the Roxy event and you choose to level blue, and maybe you're not like aiming to like level blue experience, which is a whole other problem if you want to play like one of the better early plays in the set. So like whiffing that can put you so far behind because the Roxy event negs you 1 on turn. So like going down in hand and not being able to combo back up to like 4 or 5 cards after you've invested 1 or 2 events is actually like a game losing fail case to the deck. And because of that, I think if you plan to bring this deck to like longer tournaments of 5+ rounds, you have to dedicate a slot to this card.
I don't think so.
I mean, that being said, there's already another better level swap, I'm pretty sure.
There
Well
is
said.
another option for
Yes.
level swap, but this one has better synergy with Clean Cut and your other level 0s, because they would go to 4K when you play it, which is why you might opt to play this one over the Roxy PR.
So wait, so Carmen, here's like my thing, right? So unless you're planning on like using a pendant to search this card or whatever you want to call it, the Roxy thing.
Mhm.
If you're only playing one of this, how are you consistently seeing it in your hand for those games where you're saying?
Oh, you burn the event on it.
Like doo-doo.
You burn the event on it 100% of the time. I think the event is actually strong enough to warrant playing into this card that way.
Is that maybe a bit too much to try to be sculpting for like all at
That's-
once?
no, that,
like
like,
trying to
that's
like
my
sculpt for your
exact-
combo
yeah.
and that at the same time?
Well,
That's exactly kind of like my
my-
thought there.
well, my point is it's better to do a single combo and have 2 events than it is to level blue and not do combo because of how the event works. Because if you don't play the events at 1, they are dead, basically.
Yeah, because you could just get shot right to level 2 or something,
Yeah.
and then the events are then on. You're not getting your card.
Yeah,
out
like
for
you
a whole
have
other
to play
turn.
them. You have to play them for them to go even and rip cards out. So I put this in and like did a couple test hands, and it did, and like simulated putting myself to 0-6 just to like see how that would play out, and it's not too hampering, provided you're not like ultra bricking in the like
Couldn't you
early
also
of the
just
game.
couldn't you also just round out your color pie there? Like, are you
It's
into
not
like
the
3 or
color
4
pie.
colors or?
It's not the color pie. It's that your colors at level 1 are always dual color, which is the issue.
The biggest issue with this card is just like, I mean, Niko already touched on it. It's really hard in the choice pants list to find slots willing to dedicate like one slot. I am more of the thought that this card isn't needed. The only fail safe for this, to me, in my opinion, is that you don't have experience 2 to actually combo at level 1. That's just my opinion on it. I don't really care about getting color locked in this deck. very
Okay,
often.
Carmen, I can
Oh, you
give
need the
plus.
experience for the combo also.
Yeah, the level 1 combo we're going to talk about later.
Yeah, you
requires
need
2 or more
experience too, which is you play so many like level 3s to mitigate that, like South 10 style. It's not really an issue, but I don't know. I've hit the fail case too many times already. I have about with this deck maybe 25, 30 games under my belt, and I've hit the fail case enough times to where I felt, especially after the last locals, that I needed this card. So I don't know.
It's one of those cards that's like, when you need it, it's the best card in the world, but when you don't need it, it's the worst card to ever have. Like that's how I see it, at least.
I don't know
At
if
least
it's
it's
that
at least
bad.
it's a global 500. That's like worth something.
It's not
Can
bad
edge
when
you over something.
it's not bad when you consider how the global 5 plays into your level 0 lineup. Because it makes your center runners 4K, makes your clean cuts 4K. It's a decent clean cut target in and of itself. Not the best. Obviously, it's not the Sylphie, but if you play 2-3 Sylphie and this, you're putting that many global 5s for your level 0. Like, having a 4K center runner, I mean, we've all played into South 10th before. We know how stupid that can be. Like, I don't know. I'm a fan of that play pattern because I'm a bad player that hits fail cases all the time. So I need cards like this.
I am too, Carmen, but it's one of those, like, I don't think having this card is even going to help me in those bad fail cases.
Well,
like I said, I'm willing to give you a plus, but I don't think this is not a card I'm actively wanting to include in a list.
The deck does sandbag very well when you have to because of that 1-0 auxiliary Roxy. But, like, even that isn't enough to, like, delay your combo a lot of the time. Because your combo is one of your only forms of first deck mill in the deck. Because, like, I don't think you have space for Chieri in Choice Pants, to be honest. So, I don't know. I just wanted to make my case for it because I put it in and I felt it helped a decent bit. So, that's all I got on that one. There is another level swap card that you could run that's, like, okay. Almost the same level of okay. So, if you want the effect, I guess you have it. We good? Next card?
Yeah, I think so. I think you made a good case on that one.
All right. I think this is Ollie.
We got the 1-0 maid. I don't remember her name. If you have 2 other 6-sided worlds, she gets 2k power, so she says it's 6k, and she has hand encore. There's just like no reason to play this card.
Yeah, this kind of sucks. I don't like these.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't think.
Oh, I put it in the wrong box.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think 6k hand encore costless isn't the worst. It's just like the power threshold's kind of whatever right now.
It's like, yeah, you're really using your auxiliary spot for a card to back up.
You have better auxiliary cards you can put into this spot.
At the same power line. All right, next. Oh, Andy gets the cool card.
Oh, this is the one from the meta deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, this is a good trial deck. Look at this. When this attacks, if you have Master to Disciple in your climax zone and you have experience of 2 or more, look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. Choose a 6-sided world character. Put it in your hand. The rest go to waiting room, and this gets 1500 power for the turn.
Double rare, by the way, in other sets.
Yeah.
This is like really good. This is like a Minami almost, but you don't need a reverse.
Yeah, Charlotte actually has like this almost exact same.
This is literally the same
other character.
for sure.
Yeah. Well, Charlotte doesn't have experience. It's just like you need to have another character.
Oh, sure, yeah.
There are enough
Different condition,
payoffs.
but still the same combo.
There are enough payoffs for yellow experience for you to.
He goes to 75 on his own, right?
Yep.
Here? That's
He
like
goes-
that's what you want to hit.
Yeah.
And there's a pretty decent support Roxy that you can also run that we'll get to in blue that can like push this card to I think 9k, which is
Mhm.
Yeah,
pretty
9k.
What's the highest rating in this again?
S.
We have S, but S is like
Broken, right? That's how I see it.
S is like broken, like outside of the context of the set, like busted.
In a vacuum, this profile is like okay, but there's like all the support around it that makes it really good.
Big note on this, I put it on the slide. There's only 2 of these in a single TD, so Mushoku is a 2 TD set. So you either get a TD play set or 2 TDs to get 4 of this card. So just throwing that out there. It is probably an A+ in this set. There's too much support around the 2 climaxes for you to not.
Yeah, there's a bunch of double combos and whatnot, right?
Well, it's like they interact with this climax.
Yeah, there's like multiple cards that interact and like make this combo more consistent and like better to be on the board.
Yep. All right, vanilla. We just skip it. 1/1 2500 counter. Also skip it.
Yeah.
2/1 Paul. When this attacks, gains 1,000 power for each of your other traded characters, and then during this card's battle, if the damage you are dealt is canceled, you can return this to your hand. So on your opponent's turn, when they attack into this lane,
wow,
this card can pop back to your hand.
So you can spend another stock for a card that really doesn't do anything.
Better when it's on a costless card.
Hold on. Well, you get your card back at least, right? Isn't the I don't know a ton about the different top ends for this set, but I remember the green one was pretty like hand intensive, right? So like being able to get a card back to your hand could be useful. Maybe in a deck like that. If you have a top end that you need a lot of hand, this could be like a versatile card and something you can grab off of choice.
I think the fact that it's not costless is what kills it. Because like you're paying 1-2 turns in a row. Pretty whatever. But I'll give it the D for that. It's like definitely better than absolute garbage.
Think in a choice deck, maybe you could play it if you really need a lot of hand later, but it's still not great.
All right, next, Kit.
The level 3 Rudy. Experience, if it's 6 or higher, it gains 1,000 power and you can't be targeted by your opponent. And then it's a top check X number of characters. I mean, card's okay if you need to dig, but there's not really a lot of room in the meta decks to like really run this card.
I was like, you already have like
Yeah.
stuff that helps you dig, like the Roxy support and all that.
Yeah.
And the 1K and hexproof for experience 6 is really whatever.
I think the card's actually fine.
I don't even understand why this card even has hexproof. Like, why would you ever want to like bounce this card or something?
I don't know.
I think the experience is really deceptive on it too, right? Like, yeah, it's a nice effect if you can get it, but experience 6 is kind of like tough to hit. It really like forces you to level a certain way. I've always hated playing with experience cards because it kind of like forces you to level up a certain way and build your deck a certain way, and I just don't like that.
Oh, you're gonna hate some of these other cards then.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a big payoff to getting experience 6 in this deck, and experience with certain cards. So like, it's not.
I mean,
that
I guess
big of
if
a deal.
if you're already hitting it for something else, that's one thing. But I wouldn't want to hit it just for this card.
Yeah, no. This card by itself is like, it's probably not that good. It's probably just like, I don't know. There are situations where you'd want to play it, but I think the Roxy back row is just better at digging than this card, because that card does more than this. All right, Niko.
Okay, this is the Roxy Climax swap on play.
Oh wait, you skipped the event.
Oh, wait, what? Oh, there is an event. I thought that was just a climax. My bad. If you don't have a traded character, you can't play this 2/0 event from hand. You can choose and perform one of the following 2 effects. You can search your library for a traded character, show it to your opponent, put it in your hand, shuffle your library, or you can choose one of your characters, and until the next end of your opponent's turn, you give it 3,500 power, but then it doesn't get to stand. No, you already have a card that kind of fills this role.
Yeah, you have a much better version of this card.
I don't like this. Yeah. The first effect is fine. The second effect, not being able to stand, ass.
Yeah, but you get the power cross turn. That's a lot of power cross turn.
Yeah,
you have the 3/2 Rudy.
Stand.
I think the worst part about this, Andy, is some of us are kind of like going in this with like the metagame knowledge. You already have cards that you can play down at level 2. They get very big cross turn. So giving that card even more power, giving other cards that power, just really whatever. Like you're
And
never
this
gonna-
doesn't stand, so like the card you give doesn't stand. So like that's not even like really a plus because
Yeah.
you can't use the card next turn.
And like your back row can get pretty clouded because you have things that you do want to just have chilling back there. Pretty much the entire game. So depending on how you choose
I guess
to build.
so. Because I mean, if you're giving it, if 3,500 power is going to be enough to save it, then it's going to have enough attack to enough power to start with to be like an attacker, and then at that point it's resting and not standing. So you're, yeah, that could be a little bit awkward.
If this was a backup though, that'd be
Yeah.
kind of sick.
The perspective on this art is really weird. It looks like almost like a low res image.
Yeah, it's like focusing the background.
Yeah.
I think this is the first card that we've seen with the black flavor text. So
Yeah.
if you've seen the show, the character is like this reincarnated like 30, 40-year-old man or some shit. And when he's speaking in his like internal monologue, it has the black flavor text, and when it's like in universe, it's the normal flavor text, which is some cool like just whatever.
Oh, okay.
Wanted to
Yeah,
note,
I noticed that when I've been playing against this set, and I thought it was just like a stylized choice to like make the art pop more or something.
It is nice though.
That's actually pretty cool.
On the cards that it's on, it does look very nice. There is a blank 2 soul. Got cute art though.
That's really cute art. That's
just-
very wholesome.
2 soul triple S tier. Next
Two sold
card.
here.
Niko read that, so Ollie, you get this one.
Okay, we got this level 0 Roxy on play, gives something 1,500, and it's a CX swapper. Good card.
This card's dumb. Like
this
it's
card's
very
really good.
it's very deceptive how good this card is. It's just this climax swapper that's not dead. And all the climax swappers that aren't dead in your hand when you don't need a climax swap always end up being good. Like there's the bow free one that's a 3k all the time. There's another one that it's escaping me right now that has a similar role, but I think this one situationally, especially in a standby meta, is just even better.
Yep.
Now, is this better than a Chizuru stock swap or climax swap? The
Like
Scry
top two rearrange. I think it's comparable, but different kind of effect. It is really, really good though. I think those cards are also A's. So, like B's or A's. For the current meta, I give this one the edge to the A because it gives power anywhere.
That makes this a lot more like useful of just a general salvage, right? Because like power pump can be something you'd want to salvage just incidentally.
Yeah, it's
as
like
well as
always
the
a good
climax swap
pickup.
effect.
Always good. All right, back to the top, Andy.
Yeah, I gotta say, this is a fucking loaded trial deck.
Oh,
Yeah,
Like,
TD's
Jesus,
really good.
This is
actually
like
super value.
This is like one of the best trial decks I've ever seen. Alright, when you play this from your hand to stage, you can pay 1 discard. If you do, search for just a normal drop searcher.
The only one in the set. This is your only drop search, so if you want it, you play it. That's about all I got for that one.
Sounds about right.
Yep. Oh, my slides is breaking. There we go. Next card. Level 0 Roxy. At the beginning of your climax phase, your opponent may put the top 2 cards of their stock in the waiting room. If they do, this card cannot front attack. I thought this 4K profile would be worse, and the fail case would come up more, but never did, even when I was testing the Milim, so I guess it's fine.
I feel like the time it does come up though, it's like probably I bet it feels like the most crippling thing ever though.
Yeah. It's like a chumper that forces you to put it in front of a level 0 at endgame.
When are they actually going to pay that, though?
When you
Like-
have this in
when
front of a level 3.
when they don't want to die.
When
Well,
they-
you're not playing this at level 3. You play this as like maybe a 1 or 2 of to like
No.
help get you through level 0.
I don't-
You're
I
not
don't
playing
think
this throughout the game.
I don't think you understand, Andy, is that for the trade-off for the power, you're crippling your late game chump attacks, which sometimes does happen. This deck is designed that way. So if you have a 0 that makes so you can't deal damage, it's actually really scary. Like the power and stuff, I think this card is okay. It's just that the trade-off for like losing the ability to have a chumper at any point in the game randomly and just getting like fogged for no reason.
Oh wait, no, hold on. I misread this card. Hold on. This card fucking sucks.
I don't think it's that bad, but it's I don't know what's going on with my
I mean, that's a good
slides.
point, Kit. Like, Do you think like this would maybe be a good one of though? Just like help you hit your blue fix. Like if you see it early, good, and then you always
You have
level it
s-
for
I don't
blue
think
later.
you need.
so
I
much
don't
better
think you
blue
need.
Okay, the
assistance
only
in
time
hitting
you play
blue
this
pick.
card is you can't afford to double R's in this set, and then I would be like, yeah, this is
Yeah,
completely
there's
fine
too
with
many other big level zeros that you'd want to
Yeah,
it.
play.
The level 0 game in this set is like bonkers.
Okay.
All right. Kit.
Oh, 1-0 during your opponent's turn. This gains 1k power for each of your other back row 6-sided world characters. Then it's a power pump times number of characters. Oh, times other. Oh no, is it all of them? So other characters. So yeah, it's a 2k power pump with full board.
Almost
It's
doing
like-
the Poggers face.
yeah, almost there.
Augers Roxy, dude.
It's
Actually,
kind
I can give it poggers.
I think this card
rating.
can be okay. It's an okay-ish auxiliary.
It's like a
symbol.
6/5 all the time, right?
I think it's gonna be a 5/5 more often than that.
The only issue is this card can't power pump itself, and
Yeah.
it's a 4/5. So like, it's really good going into your level 1 turn, but it shouldn't live after that generally. It's an
I
okay.
feel like
Yeah.
you have so much like better power pump you can play. I feel.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I
I'd
do
rather
think
just play the I'd rather just play the climax swapper.
yeah, if you wanted to power pump somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like terrible. I think I'm with Niko. It's like it's interesting how the card's designed. It's like
I
a
don't know.
reusable Shimakai. You gonna be
How do-
alright
how do
down
I-
there,
how do
Ollie?
I- How do I center my grade again? What, I don't know.
You
what
just
happens.
press the space bar until it looks okay. It's fine.
Oh sure.
You're alright. We see it. Alright. Next.
I got
Niko.
spooked.
All right. We have this Crying Roxy. It's a level assist, and then it's a level swap.
This is not the other level swap I was talking about.
Yeah. No. This is. I didn't even know this one
Yep,
existed.
I
to be
did
honest.
not know this was a card. It's probably fine, actually.
So
Okay.
so just to let you guys know, this is like one of like 2 level supports in the set, and if you want that power at level 2 instead of holding out for the level 3 support, you probably play this card. Outside of that, it's just like whatever.
There's nothing better than this.
If you're looking at blue and yellow, this is like
Oh, there's a
This
yellow
level
one,
support-
but it only works with 2 specific cards. So if you're not
Is it
playing,
not a 2K assist in the set?
there is not.
Wait, there is a
Otherwise,
2K assist, but it's a level 3.
yeah, that's what we were saying. There's like
Well,
level 2.
yeah, I meant like a 2/1 2K.
No,
level
I don't
three.
believe so. No.
All right, last card, Ollie.
Okay, we got this Roxy pointing.
Dude, that's your staff.
Yes, it is her staff. 3/2, 10K. I'll play heal. Pay 2, ditch 2. Once attacks, you can burn 2. That's like fine as enough.
That's okay.
People were
So-
including
yeah,
this as
fine.
including this as an off finisher with the other level 3 Roxy because that card doesn't use stock. But turns out playing into tap counter with that card is better than playing this card. But like this card itself is totally fine. It's a healer and a burner.
It's a great off finisher. This is like the Goblin Slayer from Goblin Slayer.
Yeah, except wait, that one does that one heal? What does that one do?
No, it does not.
Okay,
Yeah.
They can't play backups.
no backups. Okay.
That's also just
I
pay
thought it
2, I'm
healed.
pretty sure.
It's pay 3 with a Goblin Slayer,
Yeah.
but it needs a reverse.
That needs a reverse. Yeah.
I like this a lot. This is a really great off finisher.
Yeah, I think it's a totally fine card. It's finding the slot for it, I think, is your
Yeah, I
problem
think
most of
that's
the time. But like the card itself is fine. And the actual last card is an empty book. Before we get out of here, I think we've already touched on it. Pretty banger trial deck. I think if you want to get into the game, you don't mind playing yet another Isekai set. This is like a perfect entry point into the game. The fact that it
what's really
only
good about it,
only 2
Sorry.
level 1 combos in it though. Which
the
kinda sucks.
value out of this set is that like if you're new to the game especially and you liked this series, you pick up this trial deck, try it out, and you're like, I actually like this game. There's actually cards in the trial deck that you are required to play the meta list if you play blue yellow. So
Mhm.
Yeah, this is probably like the most like TD cards that would make its way to a meta deck out of like any set, I'm pretty sure.
At least recently, for sure. Does,
You know, a lot of people coming from like other card games, like I know in Yu-Gi-Oh, it's like a common thing that you can just like get 3 of a starter deck and just cram them together and have like a pretty viable deck, right?
mhm.
This is kind of like the same thing. Like you could actually get 2 of this trial deck, cram them together, and like actually have a pretty solid deck that could like really keep up with the meta. Like it's not gonna be top tier, but you know.
At least 0 to 1, you'd be pretending to be a real deck for sure.
And you have like a quote unquote burn combo at the top end if you
If I was
have
going
enough of
to
those.
if I was going to a TD only tournament, this would probably be the deck I would bring.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, deck looks good. All right, well that is it for the trial deck. We will see you guys in yellow.